Well, the decision has been made, and it seems that Drew Brees is going to hang around for at least one more year in New Orleans. Is this really the best move for New Orleans, or should they have just taken their L this upcoming season and begin looking at life after number 9? Let's discuss it here next. Before we start, don't forget to click that subscribe button and ding that bell so you'll always be up to date on the latest and greatest here from D-Ray Media and the PRO Media Network. What's up, fam? It's your man Mozzie 5 back once again for the play of the day. Today's play of the day brought to you by no other than New Orleans' very own Drew Brees. Now that he's given his verbal commitment, what comes next?
Who's next?
Well, obviously, they're going to have to come up with some kind of contract extension that benefits both parties, because you got to remember the Saints got plenty to squeeze into a salary cap that's already just simply not there.
Where is it?
All right. Let's back it up a little bit for those of you who may have been living under a rock since August. Let's open the 2019-20 campaign for the New Orleans Saints. First victim of the year, the Houston Texans, led by Deshaun Watson. Not gonna lie, it was a real good game, no cap. Saints eked out a 2-point win, 28-30, bringing us to game number 2. Now this is when things got a little sticky. Drew Brees bangs his hand off the helmet of Aaron Donald Duck Davis, ruptures his ligament in his thumb, and he's out 5 weeks.
I got 5 on it.
In comes Teddy Bridgewater, and we know how that went. 5-0, 5 straight games. Good for you, Teddy. Big payday playing for a contract. I see you. To make matters worse, Alvin Kamara suffers an injury. He's out for a couple games. Saints are beat up, banged up. But have no fear. Teddy Bridgewater is here. He, along with Latavius Murray, Michael Thomas, and Sean Payton, somehow managed to navigate through those 5 games and finish with an unbelievable 13-3 record. You think that'd be enough, right? Although Teddy So Ready won 5 straight, the return of Brees was met with a heartbreaking unexpected loss to the Falcons and I'll take it loss to the San Francisco 49ers. Now if you couple that with the fact that Green Bay and San Francisco just refused to lose the last 2 weeks of the season, that bumped us all the way down to the number 3 seed, which meant we didn't get a first round bye and we got bounced in the first round by a team we just seemingly can't beat, the Minnesota Vikings. I don't know, but whatever it was a definite sign that the football guys were punishing us.
Release the Kraken.
Now this is when all the off-season stuff starts to happen. You know, you got a 41-year-old quarterback, you got a guy that's in his mid-20s that played pretty good, won 5 games for you. Then you got this other guy that's almost 30 years old that they keep referring to as the next Steve Young. Well, you can't tell a guy he's the next Steve Young and then you got him out on punt coverage and kick returns, quarterback, receiver, and running back. Looking at the situation as a whole, it's obvious that Teddy Bridgewater, being the odd man out, he's not coming back to the Saints. Number one, he's an unrestricted free agent, which means he could sign with any NFL team that he chooses to do so. His value, meaning the amount of money that he can get on the open market, open free agency market, is just way too high. Saints don't have the cap space nor the money. They gotta let him go and part ways. He did a great job this season. He won 5 games against quality opponents, which should earn him a pretty big payday. That leaves us with the final 2, Drew Brees and Taysom Hill. Drew's already coming back. It's not a question of if he's coming back. It now begins to be a question of how much is it going to cost us to retain him as our quarterback moving forward next year. To make matters worse, the Hill-Brees saga isn't the only drama we got going on inside the Saints organization. With the hiring of Rich Paul, you can believe to keep AK-47 here in New Orleans, we're going to have to kick out like a slot machine. We'll save that for another video. Getting back to the Hill-Brees saga, Taysom Hill has a really big decision to make. Does he come back and play number 2 behind Drew Brees, as well as play running back, wide receiver, tight end, punt return, kick return, punt blocker, gunner, etc., etc.? Or does he test the free agency market, get a couple offers, see if the Saints are willing to match it, and then go and try and play quarterback in this league somewhere else.
$46.5, $7.5, $47.5. Do it again. Nowadays, hold down.
That still remains to be seen. One thing's for sure though, Drew Brees will have to get at least $30 million guaranteed 1 year in order for this to happen. He's done that in the past where he's taken all of his money up front 1 year, one big lump sum, and guaranteed that way they didn't take big cap hits down the road. Either way, you're not going to really duck this kind of a cap hit, especially from a 41-year-old quarterback. Now, I know they got a lot of middle-aged guys that's saying, hey, that's not that bad, but listen, when you're 41 years old and you've been playing in the NFL for 20 seasons, it's just a matter of time before you get that one tackle or that one hit that's going to sideline you. Now, the question is, how much guaranteed money are the Saints willing to invest in a 41-year-old quarterback? The Saints still have to account for $21 million in dead money against the salary cap from Brees' previous contracts.
I see dead people.
How will they do this? I don't know. In the past, they've played a wonderful game of kick the can where they just kick that contract and that guarantee and that back end down the road, and they kick it and kick it and kick it and kick it until it becomes invisible and they don't take a big salary cap hit.
I'm in jail.
And the can has been kicked.
Problem is, with a 41-year-old quarterback, there's only so much you can kick it down the road before the bill comes due. Well, whatever the final inevitable answer is remains to be seen. We've got a long off season. We got a lot to do. We got many areas to try and repair and fix before August and September rolls around. But I think that we'll be able to do it. I mean, after all, we still have Sean Payton. We still got Mickey Mouse Loomis. He does a pretty good job, all things considered. And at least for now, Drew Brees is still officially a New Orleans Saint.
Baby, welcome to the party. I hit the boy up and then I go skating a Rari. Baby, welcome to the party.
Unfortunately for now, all we can do is sit back, kick back, and watch the story unfold and see how it plays out. Good thing, it gives people like us a chance to talk about it, you know? Gives us something to do in the madness we call the off season, in the great void, if you will. I just can't wait, man. I'm really excited to see what happens with the Saints moving forward. But I got to be honest, I'm kind of scared too. I mean, because Drew Brees is getting up there in age, and we've done absolutely nothing to try and move on past Drew Brees or even think about it. Sometimes we get lost in the shuffle as fans. I get that. But we got to kind of smarten up and understand this is a business. And if we want to keep the winning culture we've had here since 2006, the Drew Brees, Sean Payton era began, then we got to start thinking like a business. We got to start thinking like the New Englands. We got to start thinking like the 49ers and the Ravens. I mean, you know, obviously you in the Kansas City Chiefs, you see how these teams are migrating towards younger, more mobile, active quarterbacks. And the days of the Drew Breeses and the Tom Bradys and the Peyton Mannings, they're coming to an end, whether you like it or not. It's a new day. It's the day of the college/NFL prototype quarterback. I mean, it just is what it is. Everything changes. Evolve or die. Ask the dinosaurs how they made out with that stay the same thing. Well, that just about does it for me. Once again, be sure to subscribe so you can always check out our videos as we post multiple times a week. And those of you that wish to donate, click the link in the description below via Patreon. That's always a blessing. And it's been a pleasure making this video. Stay tuned for more from us over at V-Ray Media and the Sports Coma and the PRO Media Network. It's your man Mozzie 5, and I'm out.